No warning. No hesitation. As the first pitch cut through the summer air, the crowd's roar still waking up, it connected with a crack so loud, so pure, it felt like the universe shifted. A flash of white soaring over the wall. Home run. An instant statement, we're here. And the world leaned in. But barely a heartbeat later, the next pitch. The same pitcher. The same mound. And again, the sound. Another swing. Another explosion. Another ball flying out of the park. Two swings. Two home runs. Two defining moments stacked on top of each other. Pause. Breathe. Think you've seen it all. Think again. Because then came pitch number 3, and with it, the unthinkable. A third crack, a third home run, and a record carved in history, 3 homers on the first 3 pitches of the game. First ever in MLB. First ever. Time slowed. The stadium froze, then erupted. Confetti of disbelief scattered through the stands. Players hanging open-mouthed. Fans buried in joy or stunned silence. Some didn't even realize what happened until the Jumbotron replay hit, and the roar came, a roar that felt bigger than any championship crowd. This wasn't just early fireworks. This was a declaration, a thunderous announcement that the night would be legendary. Because every once in a generation, something happens that jolts the world awake. A moment so raw and powerful that it doesn't feel like baseball anymore, it feels like destiny. You could see the pitcher's face change. The first fastball, maybe a mistake. The second, maybe overconfidence. But the third, by then, he knew. He knew history was being written. And in that split second, he watched greatness unfold, twice, then a third time. In the dugout, teammates jumped up, fists punching the air, faces twisted in disbelief. Some players fell back into the bench, shaking their heads, laughing, crying, cheering all at once. Their hearts pounding, their voices hoarse. In the crowd, fans held their hats over their chests. Some covered their eyes. Some reached for their phones, trembling, trying to capture the impossible. Kids wide-eyed, mouths agape, glued to the diamond as though witnessing magic. You could almost feel the electricity, like a storm building, then releasing in 3 unstoppable bolts. Suddenly, the historic significance hit. This wasn't just a great start. This was a challenge thrown down to every team, every player, every future game. A new standard created in 1 inning. Sports commentators would replay each swing for weeks. Analysts would debate pitch selection, velocity, technique. Statisticians would update their record books. But none of that would capture the emotion. The shock. The awe. Because in that moment, none of that mattered. All that mattered was the crack, the flight, the crowd, the rush. And the sweep. 3 swings. 3 homers. 3 statements. For the hitters, for the team, for the fans, a shared heartbeat had just exploded into celebration. It didn't matter what the rest of the game brought. That first minute, that first 3 pitches, had already become legendary. You could sense it in the way the pitchers behind the mound shifted nervously. You could feel it in the ripple through the dugout. You could hear it in the cheers growing louder, reaching every corner of the stadium. In that instant, the game wasn't just a competition. It was a front-page headline. A story screamed from rooftops. A memory stamped into history forever. No one expected it. No one could prepare for it. And that's what made it perfect. Because perfection doesn't come from planning. It comes from raw, unstoppable moments. Moments that knock the breath out of you. Moments that demand silence before the next roar. Imagine the weight of history resting on a bat. Then, imagine 3 lives, 3 swings, shouldering that weight, and shattering it. For the players stepping up, it wasn't just about power. It was about timing, precision, belief, a kind of faith that when you connect, anything becomes possible. Down in the dugout, you could see it in their eyes, siblings in a brotherhood of steel and sweat, watching their own become legends. Watching their team rise before their very eyes. Up in the stands, strangers hugging strangers. Old fans clasping younger fans. Everyone united by a moment so pure it broke through rivalry, history, even time. The first base umpire turned to the crowd, raised both arms, home run. Home run. Home run, and with each swing, the announcement echoed louder, deeper, heavier. Under the floodlights, the diamond itself seemed to shine brighter, as though it recognized what had just occurred. A shrine for the impossible. And even as the players rounded the bases, the echoes chased them. Each footstep hitting with the weight of applause, awe, and disbelief. For the rest of the game, every pitch, every at-bat felt different. The energy had shifted. Baseball felt sacred, like breathing in history. Because once the bar is raised beyond reach, every following moment carries the memory of what came before. Every catch, every pitch, every swing weighed against that first, miraculous minute. In clubhouses, in highlight reels, in late-night sports bars, people would whisper, "Did you see the first 3 pitches?" As though it's a secret past between believers. A moment too big for words, and too alive to ever die. But maybe the biggest shock wasn't just the record itself, it was what it said about belief, about risk, about timing. About seizing the moment the second it appears. These players didn't just hit baseballs. They hit doubts, they hit expectations, they hit history. They cracked open the ceiling of what anyone thought possible. And they did it before the second out was even recorded. For those who love the game, the legends, the underdogs, the fans, this is a reminder, magic still lives here. In the crack of the bat, in the flight of the ball, in the roar of the crowd. And for anyone out there who's ever doubted, sometimes, all it takes is one moment. One chance. One swing. One pitch. And suddenly, everything changes. So as the night ended, as the floodlights dimmed, and players walked off the field, every catcher, every pitcher, every fan carried a spark. A spark ignited by 3 swings. 3 home runs. One unbelievable beginning. Because this wasn't just a record. This wasn't just a stat. This was a declaration. A promise. A blaze that said, in this game, in this life, the unexpected still waits. The impossible still breathes. And if you have the courage to swing, sometimes you can change history with just one moment.